Hey, hi guys. It's pretty late. So anyway, I was just going through charts, so thought maybe to check out what was happening and just doing a simple analysis as such. So basically, what's happening on markets? From I was looking charts from point and figure perspective and how they were looking. So I'll just try to show you what my process looks like, and then maybe you will try to identify what we can do tomorrow or maybe for the rest of the week, how it looks like. The first thing I usually do is I go to my software for TradePoint and I basically look at the Nifty 50 chart. So Nifty 50 chart on PNF, I look at the zero point 0.1 box size. So this is basically the box size that I use 0.10%. So it's log box size. So it gives me idea of how Nifty is doing positionally. Nifty on a positional basis is not something doing very well. It's not exactly bullish right now because what has happened is that we have got this sell, we have got this sell that we got almost on Friday, which I think we got below the sell got triggered below 9195 and we closed at 9136. So that is the sell we got. So this is not the first sell. This is the continuation of the previous sells we were getting at this level. So I mean, it's very clear. Nifty was range bound. So this is the fall that happened. On I think this is the fall that we got after the monthly expiry. So where we came down to almost 9,000 level. And now what has happened is finally that fall has given a follow through. So this fall is giving a target of 8616. This is a Nifty spot chart. So this is giving a target of 8616. So Nifty at this point of time with this all this follow through looks a little bearish. There are also bullish counts open. I think one of the counts which 19841. I think we we hit that count. So that count is closed. So there is another count after that which is open. This is an aggressive count. So on a bullish side, we have this count open. But see, if you ask me, I usually give more preference to these first counts, which are conservative counts. So for me, this move of, this leg of the rally has most likely, we have hit all the counts that we could. So most likely now there is a possibility of us hitting 8616. So it's a positional chart. So that's what I'm expecting. If you are supposed to enter into this chart, so most likely you would enter into a double bottom sell. So the double bottom sell triggered on Friday's close below 9195. And the stop loss would be somewhere about here. So that stop loss, if price goes above here, so the stop loss would come at about 9391. I think I posted the chart too. I'm just explaining. So this is what Nifty looks like on a daily chart. If I go to intraday chart of Nifty, so the intraday chart of Nifty looks something like this. So in when you go to intraday chart of Nifty, see PNF does not have a concept of time. So it is basically about like what is the condition for drawing an XMO. So for example, at every 1 minute interval, you check the data. If it is eligible to draw an X or O, you draw it. So it's not like a candlestick that basically you draw every candle every 1 minute. It's not like that. So don't confuse with this 1 minute. This 1 minute means that if in that 1 minute it is sufficient for you to draw that X or O. So that is what it means. But coming back to where we are, I think what has happened, okay, the box size is not 0.25. I am more suitable to a 0.10% box size again. It's an intraday time frame. So it is basically showing you for every intraday data that is going on. The one thing that I can see is, you can observe that we have this count which is same 8870. So this is called the cluster count. Ignore some of the counts that I've placed. This is not a correct count. these ones are correct. So for me, 8870 is one of the magnets that is there. So a good possibility we can hit. This count is pretty important because this is again the day of after the weekly expiry. I mean, sorry, after the monthly expiry when we got that big fall, when we had that 5% or 4% fall. So this entire fall is now getting a follow through. So the follow through move would be aiming for this. And also on the positional basis, you saw that we have a target of close to, I think, 8600. So these are the two possibilities that I am looking at this point of time. So that's how Nifty looks for me. On the terms of how Bank Nifty looks, Bank Nifty also doesn't look very good to me because if I look at Nifty Bank, so Nifty Bank again, I'll use a 0.15 box size instead. So this 0.15 box on a daily time frame. So if you see, the problem that I'm seeing is that Bank Nifty has given. I just clean up the chart. Just cleaning it up a little so that you guys don't get confused to what is happening on the chart. So basically, what is happening is that we have got a sell. This is the cell that has come the nearest one. This is the recent one. And the issue is that we have got a cell which is now a continuation of this cell. So we already got a high pole, which means that the price went up and it came by more than 50%. But it also gave a double bottom cell. So this is actually called as a 100% high pole. And then we are getting a series of cells. So it is a continuation cell that is happening on Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty is obviously weak, but where does it go from here? So the count that we got from there uh, says something about this level. So 17260. I think I have posted this chart too a few days back when I was discussing ICICI Bank. So this is where we are at. So we have already triggered a sell below, again below 18856. Because when I gave the chart, the sell was below 19256, I remember, and I gave a stop loss at about 19723, which we have held on. And at this point of time, again, if you're trailing your stops, then the next stop loss has to be at 1965 for a sell that was generated at about 18856. Deep, I know, but this is the continuation of that sell. So I'm not actually talking something which is new. It already happened. My sell already happened here. So basically what we're looking at is this target. So let's see how Nifty does that. And because initially Nifty was not that weak, Nifty was weak. So that was a possibility that you were seeing Bank Nifty still holding up. Yeah, I mean it did give a bounce of about I think 4% when I think our respected PM announced the measures for economic stimulus. So the next day we got a good rally. I mean we got a good move on Bank Nifty. Now that entire move has been washed away. So there is a likely possibility that this now might come. This is Bank Nifty and Nifty. If I see again Bank Nifty on intraday charts, so you might see something similar. This is the Bank Nifty again. I just move to 1.0. I think that this is fine. It should work. So again, yeah. So we have this cell that is. See, Bank Nifty has been giving off these sell signals. Uh, so now what the count is open is this about 1849. So we are already in a sell. But I think once this low, I mean once the low of the previous day, which comes out to 18659 breaks, where are these counts open to? 18491 and 18198. So this is a very short-term count for intraday trading. I think it will obviously change. If I go to a little higher box of 0.15, how it looks. Yeah, it's almost. See, this is the column. Okay, this is that column we could not see when we were having a lower block size. So this is the column that was actually for the again for the fall that we got after the monthly expiry. So has this, it also has a count of 18163, which still hasn't got achieved to. So that's also something we should be considering. And now we are in a sell, and most likely if we go below 18659, the 0.15 chart will give a triple bottom sell. This sell in PNF pattern, a triple bottom sell is usually considered a very strong bearish signal. So I'll be watching out for this thing. In case I have to go long, I think the long, there has to be at least some continuation of the buy signal, because there has to be first thing, the first trend will come above 18941. So that is the first trend, and then I need another follow up buy. So that would be, because if you see we have been falling straight, there has been hardly anything that has been happening. This is the first buy that we got, but that was the whipsaw end of the day. So it's pretty much possible we fall more. This is Nifty, Bank Nifty on intraday and daily. I also check Renko. So let's check out Renko also, how Renko is doing. Renko is also very good for just doing a little bit of analysis, just for trend analysis. So I'll go for Nifty again. Okay, I'll just take the cash chart. I think the cash chart is better. I'll take a 0.10 box again. Okay, so just remove this indicator. Okay, you don't need this indicator actually. So if I see the daily chart of Nifty, it's very clear. We have broken this swing that was there, and now we are heading downwards. So on a daily, it doesn't look good. In daily, because see, whenever you get more than 10 breaks in one direction, it's a bearish break. It's called as an anchor break. We have already got more than 10. So there is a likelihood that there is a good likelihood that we might go down further, because we have broken the swing lows. This is the swing low that we have broken. So good chance we might go down on Nifty. Nifty positionally looks bearish. I think any bullishness, if it has to come, it will come when we cross this cloud, because we are trading below the MAST cloud. This MAST cloud is nothing but actually a super trend and EMA combination. So the EMA is 40 EMA, and the super trend is basically I think 40-10. So that is this. So it forms like a cloud. So it's very easy to tell. Whenever price is trading below the cloud, the price is bearish. When the price is above it, the price is bullish. So at this point of time, I don't think until we cross this cloud. So this cloud's cross would come somewhere about 9239. I think we're still 100 points away from uh, Friday's close. So that's what we need for it to show some bullishness on the, at least on the uh, positional level. On the positional level, it needs to close about 150 points up from where we are now to get some positional bullish tones. In terms of now, if I look at Bank Nifty, okay, Bank Nifty, I'll just change the parameter a little because of the size of the instrument. Okay. Again, the same thing. Bank Nifty also looks bearish, nothing obviously bullish in Bank Nifty. We are also breaking that again swing low. This is an important swing low again, because we bounce back from here and we're again below this. So it looks bearish. Any move, I think, above 19213, any close above that, we can consider some bullishness. So I'm not seeing a lot of bullishness in terms of what Nifty Bank and Bank Nifty are doing. Now I'll just move on to the other sectors that I was checking. So if you see all the sectors, I'm just going to go to a 1.5 box size, and these are all the sectors. Okay, so let's go one by one. I'm just doing a fast because I already went through them. I thought I'll make a video for you guys. I was finding some things interesting. Just let me just come back. So okay, this is Nifty 50. We have already done the analysis for Nifty 50. I'm going to bring it again. So I'm going to move on to Nifty Auto. Nifty Auto looks okay. I mean, there's nothing. It looks mostly sideways. So if it goes above 5848, then something. But I think below 5442, it will be bearish. So at this time, I am not very concerned about where Nifty Auto is, because it it has given a reversal of sorts on the bearish side, but it's not strong enough. It needs some confirmation. I think only below 5442 will get the bearish confirmation. So I'm okay to avoid Nifty Auto for shorts as of now. Even longs I can avoid. Nifty Bank, I think we discussed, so nothing new in that. Then commodities looks a little sideways now. So until it crosses this 2507, not interested in this sector. Again, above 2682 might see bullish tones. It's okay, mostly sideways movement in commodities. Consumption, yeah, consumption, we have got this big move downwards, but now we're in a column of X. So it means that it has given some up move. But for bullishness to set in, I think the half of this entire fall that has happened needs to be at least the half of this column actually. Yeah, at least it needs to go above. If it goes above, then I'll consider some bullishness. So that would be about 4346. I think a little, not very far, but we can wait. So below 4187, there will be some selling. Still again sideways. I'm not concerned. I am looking for those sectors which have inherent bearishness. CPSE also looks sideways. Nothing much in CPSE. Energy with all the news coming in from the side of Reliance. I'm not sure, but energy looks again. It also looks in a typical sideways behavior. So not that bullish or bearish. Again, ignoring this one. Fin service, yeah. Fin service is something, it looks very bearish. My observation has been whenever Bank Nifty usually looks bearish, Fin service follows. And if you see, Fin service also has one count open at 8520. So that's a steep fall. That's about, I think, 7 to 8% of fall that is there in this index. And financial index has been performing very poorly in this year. So I think already it has triggered a sell on Friday. So it's a good possibility that 8520 might get done if Bank Nifty also does a target of 17,230. So for me, fin service is one of the sectors I should be looking to sell. Then FMCG, yeah, FMCG again, it has given a sell. It is now in a retracement. So I'm avoiding until I get a sell below 2622. I'm doing nothing. It's still far off, a little far off. So nothing to sell on the FMCG. Infra. I think infra. What it's interesting. Infra, I'm finding interesting. There is some bullishness, of course, there. So this is called an ABC pattern. But the follow through will come above 2764. So if this starts trading above 2764, I am expecting this sector to go up. So infra is one of those sectors I am okay to be bullish on, but I would want it to close above 2764. Then I can expect it to hit this range. So about 10% move is there on the infra sector. On IT, yeah, IT looks bearish. I mean, IT obviously looks bearish. It is one of the sell signals. It got a high pole. Now it gave a double bottom sell, and now it's on sell. So we are at 13196. It's giving a projection of 12524. Okay, so it's giving a projection of 12524. So let's see what happens. But yeah, it looks one of the bearish sectors of the lot. Nifty media is again in a sideways movement. So nothing much. I'm not that much concerned about what Nifty media is doing. It's okay. I'll just let it cross above this moving average a bit. Then Nifty metals, yeah, Nifty metals again is again sideways. So it's a sideways movement. Not much concerned about selling, buying, and I'm okay to ignore. MNC is not a sector that I'm really concerned about. I'm going to skip this one. Pharma, yeah, pharma looks bearish as of now because it seems to have made sort of a top. If you see, we have got a hypo, we have got a follow through. There is a sell signal coming in from 28779. So there is a possibility of a 4 to 5% drop in pharma, but I think you can watch out. I think now it needs to cross 9350 to have some bullishness. Until it does so, I think we might see pharma make a small type of a dip till 8779. So be cautious on pharma on longs. Good to be cautious. Nifty PSE again sideways. This is just sideways movement. See, because there are no patterns there. The last sell pattern was almost 4 columns away. So until this fight gets over, until we get a buy or a sell, we can ignore this sector. PSU banks, yeah, PSU banks are in sell mode. So they are in a perpetual sell mode, I think. So nothing is happening. I am expecting, I think it's now at 1186. I think below 1164, there is a possibility to now hit 1078. So you can keep a watch. So that is there. If it sells below that, then we can keep a watch. Now this is the private banking index, which again, if you see the if you see Bank Nifty was weak, financial services was weak. Bank Nifty and private bank being weak is not is something that you couldn't guess. It's very easy to guess at why it should be weak also. But the thing is that it hasn't given a sell like financial and Bank Nifty gives, but it's not that far away. If you see, it closed at 10315 and below 10306, we would have got a sell. So just I think not much. I think just 10 points away. So not a big deal. So it's giving a target of 9448. This so private bank index looks pretty bad. I think to me, this is the follow through. These are all follow through sells that are coming. So this would, if you get a sell right here, we call this a low pole follow through. So it will be a low pole failure. It will be low pole failure, and also we have this count open, so it makes it pretty bad if you combine it with Bank Nifty, financial index, and Nifty. So it tells you that there is a high possibility of the financial index not doing well. So keep an eye on that index for bearishness. Realty, yeah, realty again, nothing much. So it's sideways too. Just ignore it for now. I'll just take a look at realty when it's below 169. Now it's at 172. So I'm ignoring it for now, the realty sector. Services sector again, it's a combination of banks and combination of IT sector usually. So even this sector is giving a sell. So it is also a sell of the continuation that we are getting. So again, my concern is if you saw Nifty IT and if you saw Nifty Bank, and see the most constituents of Nifty Bank and Nifty IT are into this sector. So if this services sector is showing a sell, so we know that most likely IT and services are, I mean, financial service banks are going to be one of the things that will be affected. So this is the sectoral analysis just by looking at charts of daily. Now what I will show you is also something called as a relative strength analysis. So this is thing that I do most of the times. So if you see this, what I'll do is I'll do NSE all sectors divided by Nifty 50. Basically, when you divide all sectors of Nifty divided by the Nifty index, so you can assume I am actually drawing a chart. Say for example, yesterday's close of Bank Nifty, I'm dividing the Nifty close, and I'm just drawing that chart. So that's what I'm doing. So it actually gives a sense of what is the strength of Bank Nifty versus Nifty. So if you see if you see that chart, and if you see that if it is in a column of X and it is going up, so it basically would mean, if I'm doing a Nifty Bank versus Nifty 50, it would mean that Nifty Bank is strong against Nifty. But if you instead see Nifty Bank is going down and Nifty 50, if Nifty Bank is going down and it is in a column of O, you can assume that Nifty Bank is relatively underperforming Nifty 50. So this can help you a lot to identify in that Nifty 50 sectors, which of the sectors are weak or which of the sectors are strong. So that is a very good way of identifying, and it is a very objective way too. So if you see Nifty Auto, yeah, see, you can see Nifty Auto has been now outperforming. It was underperforming for a while. Now the outperformance has started. So I think above 1635, this is the ratio. It's basically a ratio of Nifty Auto over Nifty 50. So then it can give another up move. So you can maybe track Auto after that. That's Nifty Auto for you. Energy index, again, it looks good. Okay, but again, I would wait for it to close above 1402, that ratio. Currently at 1830. Nifty FMCG is a typical, it's in a typical sideways again. Till it goes below 2849. You can see, FMCG went up. So this is the point in time when FMCG was outperforming Nifty. I mean, when the Nifty was falling and still you were watching, Nifty do well. So that was the time when Nifty was basically, when FMCG was basically outperforming Nifty. So this is the thing that was telling. Now it has been underperforming. So for the last few weeks, if you know, FMCG stocks have gotten a little bit of hammering. So that is the case for this. So, but yeah, still there is some. I would say if you have to sell, I'll sell. Say below this ratio, it will be more weak. As of now, it's not something that I'm interested to buy or sell. Now coming to FMCG stand. Infra. I think infra was one of those sectors which we were actually talking about, that it looks good on charts. So if you can see, the same thing is happening on the infra chart RS also. So Nifty infra versus Nifty 50 is something that looks very good. It has a count of 295, which it achieved. A possibility, there is a good possibility it heads to this ratio also. So it means that Nifty infra could outperform Nifty 50. So if Nifty 50 goes up, you can expect this sector to perform. And even if Nifty 50 goes down, I'm not expecting infra to do badly. So that's my analysis. So most likely infra would be the one that would be the strongest. Nifty IT now. Nifty IT is currently, you can see Nifty IT was underperforming a bit. It gave a little bit of outperformance. Now we have got a high pole. This high poles now in column of X and high pole. So it means it has retraced the move that it got. And now we are in a high pole situation. So it means that, yeah, it is bearish, but not very bearish. Maybe short term, for a short term, it's bearish. More bearishness would set in once we go below 1398. So once we go below this, then maybe you will see something. And as of now, nothing yet. Okay, now media again. Media is also a little bit of outperformance on Nifty media. It's okay. I'm just going to leave it there. Nothing much. Metals also is doing well now. So there is that outperformance on metals. Metals could do well, but if you see the price chart is sideways. So I'm just leaving it at that. MNC I'm not looking. Pharma we were looking at. Pharma's chart was bearish. So in RS chart, what has happened is that it is if you see this low pole again means that from the bottom it was some support. This RS. So until this breaks, okay, on 973. It's okay not to sell. Don't buy either. If you have to buy, then maybe you can wait for this ratio to go above 1011. Then there is a count open on this ratio. So it is possible for it to go up then. But pharma looks, I think, in the middle of it. We'll have to watch out what happens in this week. We'll get more direction. Then you have PSC. PSC looks kind of sideways again, nothing much. PSU Bank. Yeah, PSU Bank is one of the weakest of the lot. So it does weak. So I think below 1 to 6, the ratio will be showing more weakness. It has the ability to drop to 112. If it drops to 112, it means that PSU banks will underperform in Nifty. So you can expect some weakness on PSU banks. Realty is weak, but again, it's given a retracement. I will wait for it to give a sell to look into it more. Services sector now. Service sector as expected. It looks weak. Okay, so it looks weak. It has given a sell. Another sell continuation might happen below 1130. We are just 1 point away from that. So this sector as a whole, if you remember the chart also of service sector, it was weak too. So it doesn't look very good for it. Financial services, again the same thing. Financial services looks more weaker to me because it has given a triple bottom sell, and now it is giving a follow through. So it looks weak. And if you remember the chart of financial service, it was not a good chart. So going by the chart of Bank Nifty and going by the chart of financial services now versus the RS also, the relative strength looks bleak. Okay, for consumption is looking good. I think consumption is outperforming Nifty. It could go up, but again, have to wait and watch. On the actual price chart is not that in sync. Commodities, I think commodities also is kind of okay. So it looks okay. I mean, nothing to sell. I think you can look for bullish opportunities based on RS, Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, yeah, again sell. So if you see, we have got a retracement, but I think below 2049, it's going to be sell again. So this has an open count again. This is the open count. This is the open count. So 119. So 2000 comes to be almost a type of account which could get achieved now. So that 2000 is close to what, about, I think 3-4%. So we have that 2 to 3% that we could get on even on Bank Nifty. This could underperforming. So Bank Nifty could underperforming Nifty even more. Nifty 50 against leave that. Okay, so CPSE again you would see the same thing. CPSE against sideways, nothing to be. Now comes the private bank index versus Nifty 50. I mean, it looks bad again. So again, it has given a follow through, sell again. A follow through would come. So I'm expecting private bank to not perform. So based on this, I think if you ask me what I got about by looking at the price chart of sectors, then the relative strength chart of all the sectors that in Nifty, what I would say is that the private bank index, the services index, the financial index, and the PSU bank index looks weak. It's not in a good shape. Okay, so based on latest strength, because latest strength also, it actually confirmed it. What looks strong, I would say the infra sector looks definitely strong. Yeah, I also missed the IT index. IT index also looks a little bit weak. It's not that strong. So a strong side is, yeah, infra. I think consumption was a bit okayish. So these are the two stocks maybe you can track. I mean, the rest of them, leave it out. Pharma, don't bother right now. Pharma needs to confirm where it needs to go, because the RS is showing a little bit of deviation from the price. So I'll just wait for pharma to give a move. But that is what I'm expecting these sectors to behave like that. If Nifty does well, there's a good possibility of infra doing well. If Nifty does bad, the possibility of IT, private bank, PSU bank, Bank Nifty doing badly are more. If you see actually, if I now see the actual, all of these indices, the constituents, in this software, there is a term called as fusion matrix. So if you can see, you can run this against basically the combination of latest strength and price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at basically the stocks of first, say, Bank Nifty, because Bank Nifty is weak. So I'm going to look at Nifty Bank. Yeah, Bank Index divided by Nifty Bank. So I'm just actually dividing constituents of Bank Nifty in this divided by the Bank Nifty index. So it's basically just going to show me all the constituents of this, and it has a scoring factor. So I'm not going to dwell into the scoring factor. Just you can see, the minus ones, whichever higher minus ones are actually the weakest. The maximum, the score you will see is 8 or -8. That is the minimum is -8, maximum is 8. So I think stocks like SBI look weak. If I open up the SBI chart, it doesn't look good so much. So if I look at SBI chart, it has this. There is a good possibility below 165, it could do 157. So this is type of a cluster. We call it a cluster. It could do that. So be aware of that. So something that I would look for it if it gives a sell. The negation or the SL would come at 175. So this is a daily chart, so it might give a bigger SL, but again, it's up to you where you want to trade it. So I'm expecting this to happen on SBI. Bank of Baroda also looks weak. Okay, Bank Baroda, again, it's the same thing with Bank Baroda. It looks very similar. So below 40, I think we can expect a sell in Bank Baroda. The double top I comes at 44.16. That is the SL. Counts open. This is the counts open are, so 38 is the count open. 38, 33 is the counts open. I'm expecting maybe by Bank of Baroda to fall there. Then you on the private banking side, Axis Bank looks kind of okay. HDFC Bank, yeah. If you now also see HDFC Bank, HDFC Bank on the price is a little weak because if you see HDFC Bank is giving a sell below 9. It gave a sell already below 910, and it's the continuation of the sell. So below 901. So it gave a sell on Friday. I'm expecting it to touch 832. So maybe a stop loss at about 929 would be okay if you're trading it positionally. So HDFC Bank looks weak as of now, not something great. HDFC Bank, any other bank, maybe ICICI Bank I already covered. It looks weak. It obviously looks weak. So I think below 319, it could hit 288. So I think I already gave the target about, I don't know. I think I covered this. So in my tweet, I'm expecting this to happen. IndusInd Bank, we can look also. IndusInd Bank also looks a little bit weak now because it has now given a sell. This is what I call as an ABC sell. So it has given a ABC breakdown. It has this count open 340 and 372 are the counts. Interesting part is if you go to a higher chart of 1%, it has a cluster count at 340. So below 415, I would be very interested to see where it goes. So it has this count open. We call it a cluster count. These are high probability counts. That's all. But you have to put a stop loss. You cannot just say it will come. But I'm just doing an analysis part of it. So that's all. So IndusInd Bank is there. ICCI covered. I think these are the banks which look weak to me right now based on the relative strength. If you see now the financial index also, because we were saying that the financial index is also weak. So if I see the Nifty financial index, how does it look? Which is the weakest stock? Again, SBI is the weakest stock. We covered SBI. Cholafin looks kind of okay, not that much. Well, that's okay. Based on this, I think SRT is also looking weak. SRT is already in sell, so I think it's weak, all right. But I think SRT needs to give a follow through because it has fallen a lot. It might give a follow through and then it might give another sell. I can wait for that. But if it gives a follow through sell, then I think 433 is something I'm looking at. I think that's deep. That's really deep. Let it come there. At this point of time, I don't think it will come so fast. It will take some time. ICICI Bank is a weak, Axis Bank is a weak, Bajaj Holding. So these are the weakest of the lot. SBI, SRT, ICICI, Axis. So these are the weak banks. Those are the weak financials that I'm saying. But Bajaj Finserv is not that weak. It's just there doing nothing. I can still open the Bajaj Finserv chart. It's just there, as I said. It will give a sell below 4557. Still far off. So I'm not very concerned about selling Bajaj Finserv. I think I'll concentrate on these stocks. If you see SBI, even Cholafin, if I see Cholafin, Cholafin also, I think I'll wait. Nothing much, just a little sideways movement right now. So as I said, it's better to focus on these stocks. SBI, SRT, ICICI, HDFC. These are the stocks you can see to sell. Infra, let's look at infra also. Let's not just go on the selling spree, right? So if I look at infra, how does infra look? See, this is basically an RS score. It is a relative strength score. So it is actually dividing that this stocks divided by that infra index, and you get the ratio. So looking for bullishness. So on bullishness, I think it's telling in Adani Ports. Adani Ports, they're saying is looking bullish. It is looking bullish. It is already in a buy. So 312, I think Adani can do. We're almost near to that. So might give a pullback after that. So Infratel has given a pullback. So it's a nice pullback. So I think above 209, I can expect, I think 228 I'm expecting. So if it goes above 210, it closes above it, you can expect 228. A stop loss would be there when we get that buy, when it gives the column reversal, then you get a stop loss. The stop loss, if in case if it goes above here, I mean, it doesn't fall below this and goes above it, then see, this point would be a stop loss. But you have to wait for the column to reverse. So that thing needs to be done. Infratel, then what is there? BHARTIAIRTEL. Okay, BHARTIAIRTEL looks good. Yeah, BHARTIAIRTEL looks good actually. I mean, to me, I am okay with this pattern. See, this is a couple of bullish patterns here. This is ABC pattern. This is a bullish pattern. Another counts down here. Set of counts here. I mean, these are very good open counts that are there. So if Bharti is closing above 560, you can expect it to touch this about 560, about 580 range, and then it could go above to hit this 630 range. So I think we can be bullish on Bharti Airtel. If you look Bharti Airtel from a higher chart point of view, it looks very good actually. So I am expecting it to hit this range sometime. So it looks good. Because infra index, if it performed, Bharti Airtel could outperform it. Ambuja Cement, again, Ambuja Cement is also looking good. The sector is looking good, about 198, a possibility if it goes up. But I think it has moved too much. It will give a pullback, and then it will again give opportunity to go long. You can wait for that opportunity. Hamco Cement, same thing. So it has moved up a bit. Okay, so let's give it a pullback. Might go to 688. I'll maybe keeping it in a watch list for when it gives a pullback and then gives again a double top back. Reliance, how does Reliance look? Reliance looks, I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't look bullish. Yeah, the trend is bullish. It maybe is trying for this target of 1854. So I'll just have to see how it does. I think above, I would be waiting for some buy signal. There is no buy as of now. It is sideways. I think below 1434 would be bearish. And I think for bullishness, we need to wait. I am okay to watch Reliance as of now, what it does. I think I'll wait for it. It has to be watched. I mean, for nothing as such. I think these are the stocks I discussed. I think Ramco, Ambuja, Bharti, Adani Ports. These are the stocks which look good. So you can keep a track of the stocks. Even Concord, you have to look at Concord. Concord, yeah. Again, it has moved a little too much. It is called an ABC follow through. So it needs to give a small pullback and then again a follow through. It could do 479 if it gives that follow through. I mean, wherever it gives. I think these are the stocks for it. The IT index I was supposed to cover. I didn't cover the IT index. So Nifty, IT, one of the bearish indices that I was looking at. So if I see in this case, in the RS case, so Techem and Infi look bearish. So if I open Techem chart, Techem looks bearish, but I think it needs to give a follow through sell. They've given a sell, but it is not a. It is actually a whipsaw type of a sell. So this is a sell, all right, but I would need another pullback and another sell. So that would be a follow through sell. So let's wait for that. Infi, on the other hand, has it looks a little bit bearish because Infi below this about 1664 has given a sell and we got a high pole earlier. So it got topped out and now it gave a sell. So this is a type of a high pole followed by a sell. So high pole is a bearish signal and you got another sell signal called double bottom sell. So it's a follow through. So basically I'm expecting 6-1 on Infosys. Wipro, we can see Wipro again. I think Wipro can also move down if it goes below 183 to about 179. I think these are the stocks I would be tracking. I think like I'm in Wipro for weakness. I'm not going to short something like an HCL Tech. It looks good as of now. Even NIT Tech. I just try to short the weaker ones. Infi, Tech, and Wipro. I think my eyes are on Infi as of now. So I think that is the analysis for stocks and analysis for sectors. I think that's all from me. So hopefully that's all. Chalo, I hope you like the analysis. Take care. Bye bye.